Very much.
Let's move along now to Newsmax Washington. My old congressional colleague, Walter Jones, the Republican of North Carolina, a member of the Armed Services Committee, joining us live from Newsmax Washington. Walter, this situation unfolding this morning in Paris, what is your initial reaction?
JD, it's the world we live in, and I hate to make it sound so simplistic, but it's true. It's the world we live in, and you know me, I'm kind of like Ron Paul. I believe in not trying to police the world and take care of the world, and I think sometimes by trying to police the world, we create these hatreds of our way of life, which that again does not excuse this tragedy in France, and I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to make a statement, a general statement about the world situation.
Walter, while others have been given the moniker of Maverick by our press corps in Washington, you have been one who has stood apart. You mentioned your ideological compatibility with our mutual friend, Dr. Ron Paul, your concern about foreign entanglements, indeed, your early opposition to the war in Iraq and the continued stationing of our troops in Afghanistan. To a certain degree, you have been a distinct minority within the majority party in the House of Representatives. But Walter, walk me through your unique situation as your district hosts many military bases, specifically those involving the United States Marine Corps. You serve on the Armed Services Committee in the House, and yet you are skeptical about involving our troops. Walk us through your position on that and reconcile that with your very active vigilance about our nation's borders.
JD, I represent the 3rd District, which you made reference to, and that is the home of Camp Lejeune Marine Base. And I have well over 60,000 retired military in the 3rd District of North Carolina that I represent. The reason I feel this way is because when Bill Clinton left office, our debt of our nation was $5.6 trillion. Today, as we are talking in this interview, it is well over $18 trillion. And yet we continue to spend money overseas in Afghanistan and these other countries. And we're doing this when we can't even fix the roads and the bridges and the schools in America. I want a sound foreign policy. I want a strong military to be able to defend our country. But I think the way that we have continued to go around the world and trying to change, I think today, if Saddam Hussein, I realize he was an evil dictator, don't get me wrong, but if he was in power today, I don't know if we would be in the same situation in the world that we are. Yes, I hate to say that, but the point is we cannot change every country in the world, and we cannot force people to believe the way we believe. So we need to defend the American people from these terrorists because they're fanatic. But still, we must have a foreign policy that makes sense for the American people.
So, Walter, what would you advocate with American interests that perhaps are worldwide, but obviously with our concerns here at home in terms of our border protection and our own lack of action against illegal immigration? To an outside observer, it seems you're almost a 180 from Senators McCain and Graham, who talk about vigorous action overseas and seem to be, well, somewhat indulgent when it comes to accommodating illegal aliens who have come to the United States via amnesty. What should be the answer?
I am 180 from the two men that you mentioned. I do respect them, but I am certainly in a different mindset. And for me personally, I mean, I still go to Walter Reed, JD, to visit the wounded. I was over there back in September, and I saw 2 Marines from Camp Lejeune. One 23-year-old man, I will never forget him, lost both legs and an arm walking the roads of Afghanistan. The 2nd Marine from Camp Lejeune that I saw that same day to talk to had lost both legs walking the roads of Afghanistan. And we can't even walk the borders of America to protect the American people from people coming here illegally. Somewhere along the way, I mean, that's why the American people, JD, is so frustrated with Washington, D.C., quite frankly.
Mindful of our border situation and the use of our military, perhaps, do you advocate putting our standing military on our borders north and south? Have we reached the situation where we really need a fortress America?
JD, I'll answer you this way. I think we need to do a better job of securing our borders, whether it be the Canadian border or the border with Central and South America. Absolutely. And I don't know what the numbers should be, but I think we need to do a better job, because when you have 40,000 children to come to this country illegally, that's one reason I didn't vote for the Omnibus bill. $1.1 trillion in spending. And there's millions of dollars in that bill to help the president take care of the 40,000 children who are in this country illegally. There's money in that bill to also help the school systems hire an interpreter, so when the children go to schools in America, that the English-speaking teacher, that there'll be an interpreter to help the young child from Central America understand what the teacher's trying to say. I mean, it's JD, since you were here in Congress, it is absolutely out of control.
And do you have any confidence at all? We have about a minute and a half in this segment, and then we're going to hold you over with your permission to talk about the reason we brought you in about the 9/11
Sure.
report. But in the minute that remains in this segment, Walter, do you have any confidence in this current commander-in-chief when it comes to securing the borders?
No, absolutely not. I think he has proven that he will disregard the Constitution of the United States, and I think that is not what we need to secure the borders.
Fair enough. Walter, one other question. The existing Republican leadership in the House and the Senate, has anything happened this week that would tell you that they're responding to public opinion and want to get tough now on illegal immigration? 30 seconds remain, sir.
JD, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know, to be honest with you. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Fair enough. Walter B. Jones, North Carolina Republican, representing the folks in the 3rd Congressional District there, joining us from Newsmax, Washington. Sir, we thank you for your time. We ask you to stand by, because following the break, we want to discuss what Walter and others on Capitol Hill are advocating, specifically declassifying 20 classified pages of the 9/11 report on a day where France is characterizing these attacks as their 9/11. We return to that dark chapter in American history with Congressman Walter Jones as America's Forum continues.